What's up, guys? I'm Marissa Wise, and on today's episode, I want to talk to you about how having a coach can help you cut the curve in reaching your goals. Let's get to it. I want to start by sharing a story behind a picture I posted on Instagram the other day of me trying to get my first bar muscle up. The picture was taken 5 years ago at a competition that I was supposed to be competing on in a team of 4. When the event organizer looked through the list of individuals that would be competing, they realized that not all the lanes were going to be filled. So they decided to dissolve our team and put us into the individual competition. When I look at that picture specifically dangling from the bar, basically by my elbows, I can almost audibly hear my parents yelling from the sideline, "You got it, you got it." And, deep down, I knew I don't got it. I hadn't done the things I needed to do to be able to do that skilled movement. And because it felt so far away from me, that was where that story started to creep in and started to create itself inside of me that, there was no way I was going to get this to the point that I was competitive in it. What's interesting about that story and that start that I had in CrossFit was that my commitment to doing the thing was there. I was getting up at 6 a.m. I was in my senior year of college and making the time to do that, but the direction that I had and the guidance wasn't there. And I met a friend at the gym that was asking me to come in and work out with her. And she was a competitive athlete. She was training at 6 a.m. and was following a program that was specific for her. She was a great athlete, no doubt, but didn't have the skills to help me become who she was. And so as I look back on that experience, I think there's a lot of parallels to ways that we start or embark on new journeys or new goals, and we don't enroll the right people early enough. And so I think about that, and I'm proud of my commitment to trying something new and being interested in something, but at the same time, I didn't do it in the right way, and I could have done it in a way that would have cut through some of the roundabouts that I took in getting to where I am now. Through watching my husband coach and through the coaching I've done myself, we found that having a professional coach is going to give you these things. It's going to give you objectivity, so it's going to allow you to zoom out more effectively and look at the big picture. The second thing that coach is going to help you do is cut the learning curve. So your coach has worked with hundreds of clients that have a similar goal to you and have also faced similar obstacles to you, which means that your coach has already worked through solutions and helped overcome roadblocks for clients. And so they've done the work and they know the ins and outs of what your goal is, and that's what they're going to provide you so that you don't end up having to search on Google and try to find these answers for yourselves and go through this trial and error process that they've already gone through with other clients and that are going to give to you. The third thing a professional coach is going to provide you with is framework to mastery. So for me, as a competitive athlete, my coach is providing me the guidelines to get me from point A to point B. And what that entails is assessing where I'm at, so a baseline, looking at the field of competitors and the sport that I want to play in, and what's going to be asked of me in a competitive setting. So he's going to come across strengths and weaknesses in that assessment. And from there, he's going to build out the things that I do on a day-to-day basis to close the gaps on my weaknesses and maintain my strengths. And that's just an example in the context of sport. And when I look at clients that I work with in nutrition, it's really similar. So what I'm providing my clients with is a framework for their nutrition. And depending on their start point, which is their baseline, whether they've tracked their foods before, if they've ever done anything with nutrition, that's going to dictate point A. And from there, we build out getting to their end result, whether that's weight loss, a compositional change, a healthier relationship with food, whatever that thing is. And then I fill in the gaps in between. So if it's a client that has never tracked macros before, and that's their point A, their next phase is not going to be doing keto and peeing on strips to check for ketosis. It's just not going to be sustainable. And yet that's a lot of the way that we approach a new goal or a new endeavor, is we go from 0 of something to 100. And so a coach can really mitigate those types of meltdowns that can happen when we start something new. And I think that's a huge piece of getting a professional coach. In those examples, the coach is dictating the steps forward. They're giving you enough that you can be successful, but not so much that you end up sitting in failure. And when we're left to our own devices, that is what we tend to do. We bite off more than we can chew, and we do too much. So those are the 3 things that having a professional coach is going to give you: objectivity, cutting your learning curve, and a framework. The last thing I want to touch on about coaches is how you select a coach. I encourage you to find someone who is doing this full time. And the reason I say that is because they are pouring their heart and soul into what they're doing with you as the client. They've committed their lives to changing yours. So that is a huge piece of how you pick a coach out. If they are doing this full time, that means that they're supporting their entire life by working with clients. And that means that they're going to be doing their best to get you the results that you want and to live a life that you want to live. So I think that's a really important consideration to make when you are looking at coaches. I'm sure there are part-time coaches out there doing a remarkable job, and they might be on their trajectory to becoming a full-time coach and might not have their lifestyle set up to do that yet. So that is important to note. But I think overall, just having a conversation or interviewing a coach that you think might be a good fit for you, and really getting a feel for whether or not this is something that they want to do for the rest of their life, because I'm willing to bet that whatever that thing is something that you also want to do for the rest of your life, and you want them on board for your journey. As the saying goes, disappointment fades and regret lingers. The disappointment of that weekend faded away, but I've realized over time that I do have regret around not getting a coach sooner, and that the process that took me 5 years to get to where I am now could have likely taken me 2 to 3 years if I had the knowledge I have now then. And that's why I wanted to share the story with you, is that you might be where I was at 5 years ago, and it might be as simple as getting a coach and cutting that curve to get to where you want to go faster. And we're out here to help you do that. People have committed their lives to getting you to where you want to go, which is a pretty cool thing. And if you already have a coach, maybe you need to talk to them more, engage with them more, and ask more questions. Make sure that you're getting to where you're supposed to be going in the time that you want to get there. We're here as resources for you. My husband coaches CrossFit athletes, and I coach nutrition. And if we're not a right fit for you, maybe we can connect you with somebody who is. So if you're looking for a coach, reach out, talk to us, get in conversation. So there's tons of options out there. I encourage you to explore and see what's next for you in your journey. I hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe, comment. We love chatting with you guys. And be sure to hit that bell button for all our upcoming videos. And we'll see you in the next one.